you win the game. But that would sort of require them to play the Visage on sort of an aggressive dual lane, which is fine. You know, you could have something like Visage Undying.
Yeah.
Also, or Visage Undying, if you want to have Undying in the lane with sort of the coin you to protect. An Undying Morph can be very nice. Having that Soul Rip heal, especially with a Morphling who can obviously shift himself down to pretty low on the strength. So you know, you shift yourself down, get your heal from the Soul Rip, get yourself back up in HP. It's really nice and efficient in the lane. But we'll see what FlyToMoon ban.
Yep.
As I'm not too sure if Gambit are Morphling players. I would think they are, as most CIS teams. I mean, most teams do seem to have a carry that is very confident on the Morph. And I don't know, it really is just one of those heroes that's just super good against the Gyrocop. It feels like there's a lot of situations where it's too good to pass up. But they may just play Visage safe. I don't know, it would just seem a bit weird if they left the sort of off-lane hero to 5th pick.
Yeah.
Rather than something like a Morph.
They can just try lane off lane with the 3 of them. But then Morphling's by himself against Bristol.
Yeah.
We'll see what FlyToMoon bans.
I wonder if could they even do a Drow? They've got an Undying and Nagasar into front line, and then you have the Drow Visage and Storm Spirit. Pretty much guarantees that the Storm Spirit's going to win even sort of the close matchups having that Drow. They ban out the offlane course, so they do think that the Visage is going to be safe. But I'd like to see Gambit switch it up. They may not, as I'm sure FlyToMoon know Gambit very well, being sort of CIS brethrens in the region.
I would imagine so.
Let's see what they go. Final ban, Gambit. Yeah, looking towards FlyToMoon getting their mid laner.
10 seconds remaining.
We had taken out SFTA, taken out.
5 seconds
The
remaining.
Dragon Knight and Death Prophet are still there. I think DP would be the one that I would sort of say is the most appealing at the moment. Pretty nice to have that hard silence against the Storm. You can certainly try and bully him before he hits that level 6. They'll ban out the Lina.
Iceberg Lina.
Yeah, one of his comfort ones. Yeah, DP still there. Death Prophet with this lineup from FlyToMoon is a lot of push. It's a lot of good team fight.
Not bad.
A lot of sort of slow and control and wait to get the ball rolling before the storm really gets scary.
I mean, at least you get a silence with that, but I do think they are missing a lot of the Sable.
I mean, the clock's kind of nice, but sure before it's the 6. And Gambit, okay, so they do just take offlane and indeed have the Visage play safe. So, Bats Rider being the last pick.
Yep.
What the FlyToMoon go? I think the DP, I mean, if they want to get some sort of way to react to the bat, they could draft in an OD. But kind of, it's hard to play against the Nagasiren and the Undying. No.
Iceberg might just want to do it anyway, though. He's a very confident guy that way.
Yeah, I think OD or Death Prophet. Personally, the two that scream out of sort of the relevant mids that's still left in the pool.
Yep. Let's see.
Or maybe they take the Gyro mid and they put something else safe.
Oh, what?
Is that
an
iceberg Pudge?
What?
Well, I mean, okay, so they're in the top 4.
Yeah,
but guaranteed top 4.
They're not guaranteed top 1 though.
Sure, but I mean, first playing against 4, second playing against 3rd. I don't know if that really matters too much because it's double elim anyway. I guess have a bit of fun.
If you have
it's the seeding.
Yes, because if you are first seed, you go up against Double Dimension or Gambit.
I guess and
if you are second seed, you go up against probably Espada. I mean, which is a big difference.
I mean, maybe. But this cannot be a super try-hard serious pick, surely. Last pick, Iceberg Pudge. This has got to be them having some fun. But I don't know, maybe he's going to come out and do absolutely amazing with it and destroy Yoku in the mid lane on the Storm Spirit. But I'm ready to see. Iceberg Pudge, FlyToMoon. They have been sort of a fan favorite of the CIS region.
For sure.
They're trying to do more, and they will swap. Okay, so this now makes more sense.
There's still an Iceberg Bristle, though.
It's not going to be a mid Pudge. I mean, sure, it's an Iceberg Bristle, but it's not a core Pudge. So, all right. So they are trying. But they picked a Pudge. I mean, it's still a, even though it's not a core Pudge, it's still a Pudge, and this is not a hero that's popular.
Owen, Pudge has been changed a lot over the last couple of patches. Talk to me about Pudge.
He's been nerfed.
But his hook has been buffed.
Yeah, but that's his hook being buffed. I don't know. Well, what was the recent buff to the hook? Let's check out. Go on the Pudge, JJ. Let's check the Pudge. What was the? It was the damage scaling, wasn't it? Yeah. All right. So sure. There's, I mean, it's a significant amount of pure damage being added on, but it's the rot slow. Like patch after patch, this was just put right into the bin. So your roaming potential in terms of the rundown with the rot is just not what it used to be. It's a lot easier to just sort of create enough of a gap to get yourself away from the Pudge. But we'll see. And wait, did they swap back again? It is Iceberg on the Pudge.
They did swap back again.
What the hell are they doing?
Non-grata.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, he's back on the Pudge. So then they are. I mean, wow. Sure, I'm ready to see this. If they win with core Pudge, they have done their dreams. They have secured themselves, if they haven't already, being the second best team in CIS. I don't care where they seed in the groups. If you win with Pudge as a core, I mean,
it's time for some new goals.
VP. I mean, this puts you pretty close to being as good as VP. If you can win with Pudge, this is an achievement in itself. I want to see if they swap again, because they might do so. I don't know. I can definitely imagine Iceberg being the player to go. I'm playing Pudge.
Let's see. Let's see who's playing. Oh, never mind. We'll wait until they see we swap.
I'm sure he's gonna keep it now. It's gonna be
3.
Yeah, he's playing Pudge. It is gonna be the core Pudge.
Or?
No, he's not swapping. He's buying items. We're set.
All right. So No Fear is playing the Clockwork. Let's go over everybody again. We got Iceberg on the Pudge. We got Gyrocopter played by Silent. That's a classic combo, by the way. I always want to fly Jakiro. And then last but not least, Non-Grata on the Bristleback. And then on the side of Gambit, we've got ourselves Big Nama on the Naga Siren. Not mad at all. It's going to be Visage. We got Yume on the Undying. And Yoku on the Storm Spirit. Last but not least, though, Afterlife's offlane Bat Rider will be gracing us with his presence as well.
I guess in terms of the Pudge, it's like, let's think about why the Pudge would be good this game. I mean, it would be good this game. Physical damage is pretty much just the Visage, and that's sure the Visage is still a lot of physical damage, but overall it's mainly all magical. So I guess if you're able to keep the game going and get flesh heap stack after flesh heap stack, it's pretty nice just having raw HP against Gambit's lineup. The lane matchup at the start, I suppose you can threaten the Storm.
You know, if this game works out as well, if they win with Pudge, it can provide you a big tool, because people are gonna try and ban it out against you for last picks.
You'd have to play a really good Pudge for that to happen.
Sure.
I think even if they won with Pudge, people are not going to be like, "What? We need to ban the Pudge." It's just,
no, not first phase, but later on.
I mean, maybe, but I really don't see teams being scared of a Pudge in 2018. I mean, I'm just, as I said, it's going to be very impressive if they do manage to blow us away with the Pudge, because it's a Pudge. This hero it's not good, but I'm excited because there is the chance. I mean, who knows? Maybe FlyToMoon have been scrimming super hard with it, and it's going to be an incredible performance from Iceberg.
Don't worry. It'll be okay.
We have a slight pause at the moment.
Hello.
Mugs. He didn't drink his tea.
Please don't throw it on the floor. What do we do? What, to what?
To do what?
What's wrong with it?
Yeah, but you can see the levels.
I hear things. That's why I'm wearing a headset. I want to have the audio on the TV.
So how do you think you can fix it? Like, what can you do? Yeah, but dude, that's gonna stop the stream. Oh, you don't use read with the PC? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Alright, 2 teams having a chance to make it to playoffs. Double Dimension and Gambit.
Double Dimension?
Double Dimension. Double Dimension
Oh,
doesn't have their games
all
anymore.
the teams we've got left. Yeah.
Yeah, because we
No,
already
no
have
Double Dimension.
FlyToMoon, Spirit, and Espada already made it. And then Double Dimension or Gambit will join them.
We got to watch this mid lane. We got to see how this goes. See how Iceberg does.
Yeah, that is the biggest question. We'll go for what level 1, helping to get those last hits.
Let's see how we can do. He's going, yeah, wandering to ball. Alrighty, right. Of course.
Get salves up already. Nah.
This is... It's going to be tough. But imagine though, if he does hit those up. It's going to be incredible.
It's gonna be amazing. I mean, his last hitting is not as good as Storm's at the moment.
I just got the creeps under his tower now. Pretty nicely there with the rock.
Mm-hmm.
The right area.
Yeah.
Very good job actually. I mean, he's got... just got pretty good right click 67.
Yeah, he does, but he's doing it real well right now.
Yeah. He's getting pretty much every single one there underneath the tower. No problem. Very nicely done there by Iceberg.
All of a sudden, he's ahead of the last hits. Look at that, huh?
Very, very close. Early days. We'll see a few waves in how it ends up going between these two.
Right, top lane, there's a Naga and a Visage up against a Bristle and Jakiro. Doesn't look like Naga can get a lot out of this yet. Or sorry, Visage get a lot out of this.
I would love to see a carry Naga, but
I mean,
unfortunately not.
Would you really though?
It is the Visage farming. I mean, well, I like to see stuff that's a little bit different. I'm sure that carry Naga can definitely be still done.
Does shooting? What are you shooting one?
Carry Naga.
Oh, he's gonna fly. He's dead. One more hit away from dying. Actually, Big Dom is chasing him down. Can he actually catch him? Doesn't have a lot of mana left. In the meantime, Bruce Blood actually does go to Non-Grata and always gonna fly. Turns around for the...
Yeah, he tried to get liquid fire out to Big Dom, but I think that cost him his life.
That did cost him his life. I think you're right.
There wasn't the mana for Net and Riptide, so Big Dom was just sort of relying on closing the gap, and he was allowed to because the Jakiro turned around.
Yeah. Still though, I mean, Non-Grata getting first blood, not bad at all. In the meantime, on bottom lane has a Batrider on dying up against a Clockwork Gyrocopter. Who do you favor in this lane?
Oh, I think you got to go with the Bat and die. Like this is a lot of pressure they can put on. And the clock, what can he do and such? Maybe he can try and find a trap onto the Undying, but as long as the Firefly is available, it's going to be very hard for the two of them to really kill the Bat. So I think the FlyToMoon they've got to be careful down the bottom lane. Silent could certainly get pressured as soon as the levels start to come out from these two. There's level 3 on the Bat, so already he does have to be quite careful anytime the Clockwork leaves his side, as they can certainly look to run down the Jara.
Mm-hmm.
Middle lane Iceberg doing very nicely.
Yeah, he needs a lot of this sustain to stay on this lane though.
Sure.
I mean, he has it and he buys it. That's fine. But what? What was that? Was that a taunt?
Yeah.
Never seen that one.
We don't see a lot of Storm, to be fair.
True. That is definitely true. But they're keeping up. They're 21 and 2, both of them, or 21 and 8. No, 21 and 2, both of them. 22 and 8. That is the Bristleback, who is farming real well compared to the Visage. Look at that top lane. How is it so far? How is it such a big difference?
Looks like the aggression of the Bristle is there's been enough. They're making use of the pulls and such. They've got the ward downs. They've got the good coverage around the area.
Over double the last hits. That's some crazy.
I mean, early levels, it's not the easiest hero to CS with Visage if the pressure is on to you. And as we talked about, Bristleback's one of those lane dominating heroes. Mid lane, Yoku and Iceberg both getting incredibly low, and Iceberg getting that hook actually.
Yeah,
That was right in between creeps. I mean,
Yep.
you sort of just saw the Storm Spirit melt.
It was just a hook damage coming out like that.
Yeah, he perfectly threaded that, because normally when you're standing right by the creeps, you go for that sort of close range hook in the midst in the wall. You're going to get a creep 90% of the time, but he actually gets the burst, because if he doesn't get that hook damage, I think it was very likely that they would have both gone down. He might have been able to get the suicide off, but very nicely done by Iceberg.
At least Yumi got the kill on Clockwork from bot lane, so Undying gets that one. In the meantime, Silent, he wants to get that rune, and he's gonna get it too, because Yumi is not able to catch up and get the other one. So 2 runes go in the way of FlyToMoon.
Oh, yeah, this is
3 actually.
Yoku, but that's I mean, I say they always want to fly. He's taking quite a lot of damage in response, but he's going to stick around and just continue to annoy Yoku and force him back. He's got the slow, allowing Iceberg to chase him down.
Do they have a hook?
He's getting the angle. He's got to get the angle. You know.
Alright, never mind. I mean, that's the perfect hook, right? The hook that just the juking of it made them able to be catch up like that.
I mean, this Iceberg Pudge is going off. He's got himself in on 2 kills. CS is brilliant for him. He's top of the board. But it's a Pudge. You know, we've got to see what he's able to do with this.
Yep.
As this is one of those areas that, especially when you're playing as core, you have to just snowball and snowball. If there's any sort of the game where you have to resort to just going back to hitting creeps, it feels like you've almost already lost. But getting a haste rune, that's perfect, because he can hit down bottom. I think he's going to be able to help pick up the turret.
Well, not that perfect hook. Nobody saw that one, Iceberg. Everybody's just following you, running after Afterlife, but your hook is cool. The dismember is there though, and that should be enough. The hook is not even needed for that one. He's going for the next one. He's got a hook. Oh, and he gets the right one. Oh, lucky spot. Was it luck or skill? I don't know, but it was impressive.
Man, you know, FlyToMoon, they've been rising up in the ranks. As I say, being a favorite of the fans.
One more thing can maybe kill him off. No, he needs one more. Oh, he got one. He got it though. He got it. Dual breath onto the Visage. Visage taking a lot of damage from this Jakiro. He might actually die. He's got the slow off, but always on a fly. Might just want to try and... No, he does not.
Yeah, Iceberg. I mean, he's winning over the fans. He's doing it with Pudge. He's a new age Dendy, as it seems.
New age Dendy.
With the Pudge plays, making it work in the core position. I mean, so far it's still early days in this game, 7 minutes in, but with a 3k lead, you got to be impressed with how this guy's playing.
How much of that is in the net worth of the Pudge? Oh my god, that's quite a bit. Sure, Storm is at the moment ahead of last hits, but...
I mean, surely you can't get this.
Oh, he can! Dismember there as well! He gets it! He does Storm Spirit away though.
He's got to start bombing up
Black Cannon
as well.
There's 2 hits happening, but they won't hit on that Storm, or at least not enough. Bignum taking a lot of damage here. Suicide. No, Iceberg dies. But at the moment, Silent is not too unhappy with that. He gets the experience for that without having to share it with too many people. Oh, almost gets that one too. Storm managed to get out, but double kill for Silent. Is that worth giving away Pudge's life?
Oh, definitely. You're getting your gyro in. This was sort of the first big movement of the gyro away from sort of sitting in his lane, picking up 2 kills. Yeah, sure, you would have loved to find the Storm. They nearly did. The homing missile on the flank nearly brought him down, but he was lucky to have enough bottle charges to regen him up enough to keep himself alive. But no, it's perfect for FlyToMoon. They've got their 3 cores, top positions. Sure, the Pudge dies there, but yeah, he makes something happen for the Jar. And at the end of the day, you're going to be a lot more fussed about making sure that the Jar is in a better place than the Pudges. Because the Jar is obviously just going to do so much more as the game goes on. Whereas with the Pudge, I mean, I say that, but Iceberg so far has been getting a lot done. If he continues like this.
But it's exactly like you said, right? He needs to continue like this.
He's got to keep putting the pressure on.
of the hero.
Because normally, so the strength of a hero like Pudge is when he's off the map as an opponent, you're terrified. But you're a core. You know, if you're off the map, you're not farming, and it's a core position that's going to be falling back. So he's got to keep making these plays. And yeah, 9 minutes in, he absolutely is. He's level 8. He's a huge threat already. He's landing these hooks that he's landing hooks between creeps while standing in a creep wave, landing hooks onto a Naga Siren summoning illusions, landing hooks onto a Storm Spirit, which should have had the time to ball lightning away. He's been getting them every single time.
Has a hook available right now. We'll get it on the ice path. That right, our Afterlife. Can he get out of here? I don't think he can. Let's do a lot of damage to both Silent and Iceberg, but I wasn't Silent. No, I mean No Fear and Iceberg. Oh, Yoku.
Doesn't get the hook this time round. And Yoku is going to be able to punish that thing.
Yeah, nice Ice Path helping out, but Clockwork is already done for. In the meantime, Bristleback's pushing on top line. He is actually No, he didn't get it.
He hooked it, but Bignum picked it up before it got packed.
Yeah.
Pulled all the way
Still though, FlyToMoon get the other 3. Silent. Yoku's out of mana, he can't do anything else. He got that haste rune though, so he can get himself out. Hook shot, gets himself the Naga Siren. Is there Cogs? Pushes Afterlife back to the low ground into the dismember of Iceberg, and now Bignum is next. Hume puts the tombstone up after everybody else has died. I don't think that was a play. He's just trying to make something happen, but in the end he's just getting extra gold into the pockets of Silent in this case with the tombstone there. And a tower off the back of that as well. FlyToMoon. They're definitely taking this game
owning it. Yeah.
and running away with it. Yeah.
They've won every single lane. They're moving around. They're winning every single fight. 6k advantage, taking the tier 1 mid. You've got a Purge that once he does skill the Flesh Sheep, he's going to have a lot of stacks all ready to go. He's been involved in, I believe, 10 of the 13 kills, Iceberg.
Teleport out. Oh, good.
What, did he not root? I mean, he didn't. Oh, okay.
So for Gambit to come back into this game, because that's where we're at right now, right? What needs to happen? They need Afterlife with the Blink Dagger? Is that mostly pressure on him? Or is Storm going to be able to do it?
It's kind of... there's a lot on the Storm. I mean, you've had sort of this start to the game where the Visage and Bat aren't really going to be sort of that mid-game threat that you'd hope them to be. Unless they sort of do get some AFK time to farm up, for instance, the Blink Dagger on Afterlife. But with the way that FlyToMoon are moving around the map, it's going to be incredibly hard to do so.
Yeah.
So, a lot of it on it is just hoping that at least one of these cores is actually able to sort of farm their first major item so they can have an impact in the fight and sort of help you get those pickoffs. Because at the moment, if a Bristleback and a Gyrocopter and a Pudge are running at this team, it's very hard for Gambit to do much other than Song of the Siren and TP away. They can't really tackle 5-on-5s anytime soon because of the power that FlyToMoon have with their draft.
Radiant Scan scouted out that there's dire heroes close by Non-Grata. I don't know if he knows how many though, but he does have some help. Hookshot coming in. Cogs, actually not too great of a Cogs for that Bristleback. He does get spin around, maybe gets another Quill Spur up. No, he does not. The song as well allows for maybe a safe exit for Gambit, or do they want to go in still? Because most of the people FlyToMoon, everybody at FlyToMoon actually came to this bottom lane. Cooldown coming down as well. The Cogs catch the Visage dead. And that is a trade that is in favor still, I think, of Gambit.
Yeah, they get the bristle.
That's a lot of gold.
Themselves. I'm sure the gold favors them. That doesn't show us the gold though that we just saw FlyToMoon get from killing both the familiars.
Sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, not enough to start really swinging things around.
No. It's a start though.
Sure. But I mean, they don't get the tower and such. Iceberg.
Oh, the hook, of course he does.
Another hook for the Pudge.
And then that Batrider is still fairly far away from his Blink Dagger, or what?
I imagine he must be. He's sitting on 3.2k. How much is Afterlife got?
Structures are fortified.
Batrider.
Batrider.
1700.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
But as we see, you did the Iceberg. He's going for the Rod of Atos first. So that route going to be super handy. Setting up for the hooks, setting up for the combos of the entirety of the team. They're going to have so much catch. And Yoku's going to have to be very careful how he zips around the fight. There's one sort of route or dismember and he will be dead. There's not a lot of sort of safe potential outside of the Song of the Siren from the Naga Siren. Bottom lane. I'll take the tier 2 tower.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
FlyToMoon. They really did have a plan with this Pudge lineup. They're executing it perfectly, and that's close to the point where I think you might be right. Teams may start after thinking about the Iceberg Pudge. when it comes to the later stages of the draft.
I mean, it would be a later stage ban for sure. It's always nice to have something that, you know, an enemy is always fearful of. You can think of Brood Mother players, Meepo players, Arc Warden players. You know, it's always something that you have to keep in the back of your mind. If you can use a game like this to create a fear like that, or a worry, and that's an added bonus to add that to your drafting arsenal. That just can give you that edge that you might need. Oh, the hook, of course he does.
There's a lot of people behind.
Oh, yeah. He's got Macropire up on 3, of course. Great going for them, but Pudge, not long for this world. He ends up dropping. Song coming out, allowing Gambit to reset. Now that the Pudge is out, this could be the way that they wanted. Yoku, I'm not sure what he was planning, but he zipped right into that rocket barrage. Naga Siren. And, oh, he's trying to juke it out, but he did not succeed. Did you see that? That was funny. They always get the Jakiro as well, though, on the side of Gambit. Yeah, the Naga tried to run an illusion away, but in the meantime, the real hero still took a lot of damage from the gyrocopter. So
a little bit of a hook got wrong there.
Yeah.
The temptation's always there as a Pudge. You see a hook, you hit it, you're like, yes. But then it's suddenly apparent that the entire team was behind. Of course, the bat that got hooked. So
that was a great Macropire Ice Bat, though.
Oh, it was. I mean, it looks to be at a pretty sort of closed position, but still Gambit were able to move the way around it.
Yeah.
And as you said with the song, just sort of assess the situation and make sure that they were in a good place to fight back and make sure that FlyToMoon couldn't take that fight. And the Gambit are able to, again, put a bit of a dent into FlyToMoon, but overall,
I mean, they don't seem phased at all.
Yeah, unable to really shake them off their game as FlyToMoon have such an advantage at this stage. 60 minutes in 10k gold lead.
Yeah.
And still, they're really lacking sort of the presence of a core on Gambit's side that is actually going to be a deadly presence in the team fights. They've got Yoku catching up slowly. You know, he's getting to the same point, same amount of farm as, I suppose, Pudge. But then you look over at the Bristle, you look over at the Gyro. These are two cores that are just doing so much in the team fights. And Gambit, sure, they may be able to kill one of them, but at this point, it's very hard for their lineup to do more than that in a fight. Especially with the Gyro now having the Aghanim set to complete.
Smoke up by Gambit, looking for a way in. There's a bit of a split from FlyToMoon. 3 on bot lane, 2 on top lane. And the smoke gang moves away from bot lane. They changed their mind. They want to give themselves, of course, the most favorable positioning and gank potential as possible, and apparently those 3 together is too scary to go up against, even though they knew that the Jakiro and the Pudge, they showed themselves top. They knew they weren't going to be there, but
Dire are scanning.
Dire scan coming out, but nobody hiding in the trees over there. Smoke gang continues this time for FlyToMoon into the Dire jungle. I'm not sure if they can... Yeah, they're going to try for it. I don't think maybe they can kill him. With cooldown coming down, they can definitely kill him, actually. Oh, lasso on the clockwork, though. Up to the high ground he goes, and that is indeed where Afterlife leaves him. Oh, Rod of Athos coming out into the hook, Afterlife, and he drops while No Fear can teleport home safely on his clockwork. So that lasso not really successful at all. 2 heroes dead on the side of Gambit.
And as we saw there, no TP was on the Storm, so Yoku just could not get over to help out. I mean, I don't know if he wouldn't necessarily, maybe if he got in, he would have been able to make sure, for instance, that they get at least the clock kill off the back of it, but either way, didn't have the sort of the option to make that play if he wanted to. Modern, though.
Cylon, there's a problem. He gets jumped upon. Can he turn this around? He does have. It's very tanky. Oh, and with the cogs as well. Yoku tries to get himself out. He's still very low, but he has some mana left, so he zips himself out, meaning that only Naga Siren died for that attempted gank.
Oh, you
Pudge is not done, yo.
I mean, Iceberg was seeing if he could get the wrap on Yoku. Yeah. You knew that Yoku was pretty low on mana. And we can look towards mid if he can get the range for the Rod. You've got to remember, Rod of Atos has a pretty crazy cast range.
Would you want to blink dagger into your Pudge?
I mean, the Rod's great because it sure both sort of allow you to set up for your combo. And yeah, I guess in a lot of senses you could argue for the blink, but the Rod of Atos, it's pretty good stats. You know, it's great stats. as we talked about, that you've got this team that you are sort of relying on that initiator, and it's pretty much what the clock hook shot, or even the Pudge hitting his spells. So this just makes the pickoff so much easier for FlyToMoon as a lineup. But sure, Blink is a great item on Pudge, but it just always seems a little empty if you go for it as your first time. Sure. So he's going to get it after the Rod of Atos, but just having something like a Rod, I mean, other Pudges we see, if you're in a core position, sometimes get like a drums or the hood or a force stop, just something else that provides you a little more than initiating and getting in there.
Alright, this is a worthy sacrifice for always want to fly. A 5-man gank just for a Jakiro, who still managed to get the rune, by the way, before he died. But that is a smoke used, and I'd say wasted, because that is not a good target for them to get. They need to get one of those top 3 heroes that you see on the net worth. They need either Gyrocopter, Bristle, or Pudge. And they're not getting any of it. Oh, they have another smoke though. They're coming in again.
Oh,
Flare flies over. They don't notice it just yet. Heading towards the pit. Coming in from the side. Here they go. Afterlife. Jumps in. It's a clockwork that he got. It's there as well. A lot of hate for this clockwork, and he drops. But maybe the comeback, the turnaround, FlyToMoon going in for this one. Silent doing a lot of damage. Flak Cannon, Macropire there as well. In comes the song. Stopping Yoku from dying, or does it actually? Yes, it does. Yoku is okay. In the meantime, though, no Grat okay as well. He gets the Aegis. They're going back in. Yume, can he get himself out of this one? I don't think he can. Iceberg is there to take him down, and not mad at all. Stunned, hooked, and dismembered. No, he still gets a kill on the Pudge, but he dies for it too.
Yeah, sure. The Pudge dies there. Just sort of looking at the other way, but again, he's hitting these hooks.
Yeah, he really is.
These familiars and like the minions. I don't know how he gets them through these tiny angles.
Yeah.
But Iceberg, his Pudge hooks have been absolutely on point. Like in the past, we've obviously seen some teams in pro games bring the Pudge through, but his have got to be some of the most. And they're not fluky hooks, because he's done it. These sort of hooks threading the needle multiple times in this game.
Yeah,
he absolutely he knows the precise point.
Yep.
To get every hook complete. And yeah, 18k gold lead. 22 minutes in. It is great to see a team with core Pudge just absolutely destroying their opponent.
Gives the people hope.
Now looking at 22 minutes in, 2.7k HP. Sure, feel the weakness of the Pudge is the lack of armor. If they do manage to hold him down and get the Visage and the Familiar onto him with the Solar Crest, they can still melt for him pretty good, but that's going to rely on them having the chance to focus fire the target down. And sort of during the time that you're doing that, it's very like the Silent and Non-Grata, this Bristleback and Gyrocopter duo that are so far ahead in terms of farm, are just going to run you over in every single one of the fights.
Lasso on the gyro, but no follow-up for that. Nice ice path as well. Macropire over the top because he can. And this Visage is not able to do a whole lot of damage, even though he really tries to. Batrider drops. There's no saving him. Flak Cannon making sure that everybody else of Gambit can't come even close. Nice teleport out by Yume, but he is just teleported to his base. He can't actually help defend his base, which is what is needed right now. Yoku trying to kill Grata, and Grata still has an Aegis though, so he is okay taking the front lines and tanking all that damage. Buyback coming out for the Storm Spirit. This is Gambit's last hope. If they lose this game, they are not able to make it to the playoffs of the regionals, and it looks like at the moment all these buybacks isn't gonna pay off. They might actually be paying off. They get the Aegis at least. No diebacks happening just yet, and Batrider is about to respawn again. The mid-racks are slowly withering away, but so are the heroes of FlyToMoon. Bristleback, last man standing.
Oh, they didn't get the racks.
He teleports out, and the racks actually don't end up dropping. This is Gambit holding on, and they were very close to not holding on. They're very close to losing racks there as well. 3 buybacks expended for that.
And we see it there, sure, the goal, 3 buybacks, and the goal is, that's how worth it was. It doesn't matter that they expended money on the 3 buybacks, the fact they win the fight, and they keep those racks alive. They're FlyToMoon not focusing enough resources to finishing off that melee racks in time. So, Gambit, sure, they're still 18k behind, but they haven't lost. They're holding on.
They are definitely holding on. They're doing quite well with that. Just need to do it a couple more times, I think, in order to be successful.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's so far ahead in net worth. You can only imagine, as you say, how many tombstones and familiars he's cleaned up. Just sort of, no, just along the way.
Yep.
And here we go. Now FlyToMoon should have a pretty good job at finishing off those melee racks.
Oh, one more fight though. That's what Gambit has in them. They jump in, get the lasso up on the gyrocopter, ice path, stopping all the initiations from Gambit though, and that is Undying, or sorry, Pet Rider already dead. Undying might join him soon though, if it weren't for the song of Big Nam. Oh, that is a Rod of Aethos on Yume. Does make it back to base. Rack still fall. Afterlife has got buyback available on his Bet Rider. But other than that, he has to wait for 20 more seconds. Jumping back and forth is this Storm Spirit trying to delay the push coming out from FlyToMoon. Another hook shot coming. Oh, this time he doesn't get it though. Not with Big Num getting his illusions out and making sure that hook was blocked. Ice Path this time does not hit either. Almost want to fly, going for Big Num. And Big Num actually almost dies to the gyrocopter there, but Silent, he's got his eyes turned towards this Storm Spirit, and he gets the kill as well, lives on 40 health. Hookshot doesn't hit this time, but that doesn't matter. There's only one hero left alive on the side of Gambit, and that is the Bat Rider, and he doesn't have anything to fight with. No buybacks, no nothing. It looks pretty grim for Gambit and their TI8 dreams right now.
So, I mean, FlyToMoon, one of the favourites in the CIS region for sure, and in games like this, we're seeing why. Not just a pleasure to watch, but just an incredibly a scary lineup of CIS players.
Afterlife?
Now, you know, just clowning around a little bit at this stage. They know that this game is pretty much in the bag.
Yeah.
And the Iceberg Pudge, I don't know if we'll get... I mean, we might get to see it in the playoffs. We might get to. They're best of threes. And to be honest, as we've seen in this game, it doesn't even feel like a risky pick. If they get him a good lane matchup, we saw he pretty much... They traded farm in the mid lane. They both got farm, him and Yoku. But he was under no sort of threat. He made some excellent rotations. He hit some fantastic hooks. And it's a Pudge. They are winning with a core Pudge, and Gambit are rage quitting. They're out. GG's are called. GG. As FlyToMoon, another win in the bag for them in this group stage. And as you say, the end of the road in terms of TI8 dreams for Gambit, as they will not be able to make it into the top 4 spots of the groups.
This means that Double Dimension will be your 4th squad there now. Double Dimension is guaranteed 4th seed. Espada at the moment is sitting on the 3rd seed, but Team Spirit...
so Team Spirit are 5-1, and FlyToMoon are now 6-1. Yeah, so the final game is... What's the next game we have?
FlyToMoon is guaranteed 1st seed, because they won versus...